And I'm doing a Would You Rather, but real quick, before I get into the questions that are, of course, on yourather.com, I would really be appreciative if you guys would check out that first link in the description. It's going to take you to part 1 of a live commentary I'm doing over some Zombies gameplay. I used to do those all the time, every day. It was a good time. I enjoyed it, and I'm going to try and get back into it as a kind of preparatory thing for Black Ops 2 when Zombies is going to be even bigger than it was in Black Ops 1. So please check that video out, show some support there, and I'd be very, very thankful. I'll pour a little bit of my drink out for all those of you who go over there tonight and show me some support. I know that's like a gangster thing for like showing love to dead people, but we can make a new thing. We're starting trends, trend setting. Be a part of it with me. But anyway, that's 42 seconds that you're never getting back of your life, so let's get on to the questions. Would you rather eat a quarter or eat chapstick? And a little caveat at the bottom is the chapstick is tropical flavored, which... what the hell does that mean? Tropical flavored? Like, that's tropical isn't a flavor. Does that mean like pina colada? Does that mean like some sort of citrus fruit from the tropics? Does that mean a fish? There are fish in the tropics. I certainly don't want to be scarfing down a fish-flavored tube of chapstick. That sounds unpleasant. But at the same time, I don't want to eat a quarter because, like, I don't know like if this is true or one of those urban legend things, but they say that quarters and change are like the germiest of the germy. Like, even paper money isn't as germy as the quarters and the dimes and whatnot. And so I don't know if that'd be good for me, but at the same time, something even more unpleasant than that would be the fact that I guarantee my stomach isn't powerful enough to digest a quarter. It's just not, you know? So it's going to be coming out the other side of me one way or another. Well, actually, there really is only one way. So it's going to be coming out of me one way or maybe get stuck in my body and kill me. Whereas I'm sure even if I did have to eat like fish pasty chapstick, if that's what they meant by tropical, which would be a horrible way to advertise your product, I'm going to have to go with chapstick, because this is another one of those questions where it's essentially like, would you rather eat something that's going to be gross for 8-10 seconds, or would you rather eat something that could potentially kill you and ruin your stomach and just make your life a living hell as you're sitting there trying to shit out a quarter and the ridged edges are scraping along your butthole, and it's going to be very unpleasant. Trust me on that. I guess you can't really trust me. I've never been in that situation, but hey, I'm making, you know, references and inferences, all right? So I'm going to go with eat chapstick because I am not ridiculous. There we go, 74% eat chapstick. Usually I'm in the minority in these questions, but it turns out that only 26% of people can't think 15 minutes into the future. There you go. Next question. Would you... This is gross. Would you rather have your testicles crushed or have your eyes gouged out? Well, this is horrible in every way. I mean, I guess the big benefit of having your testicles crushed is that you never have to wear a condom ever again. You know, that's a benefit, so let's strike that up. Let's put one tally mark in the pros section. In the cons section is your testicles will no longer be there, I assume, and so you'll have to get some, like, fake ones. But, I mean, even those, you could make them out of, like, titanium or something so that every time you walk, they, like, click together. So that's a pro as well, even though, you know, the no ball thing, that's a con. So it's 2-to-1, pro to con. I'm going to give another point to the no condom thing. That's a 2-point thing, so that's 3-to-1. You know, the big thing is, the biggest benefit is that it doesn't say anything about your penis getting messed up, and so as long as the penis is there, you can make do, you know. When that's gone, you always got to pick the other option. But having your eyes gouged out, just think of how horrible that would be. Like, obviously, I think it would be clearly less painful than having your testicles crushed, since that's pretty obvious to any guy who's listening out there that it's way more sensitive than your eye. But having your eyes gouged out, like, not only will you be blind for the rest of your life, but you'll have to wear, like, goofy sunglasses, and you're going to have to, like, maybe, like, wear, like, doubling eye patches over your face. Like, that's going to be unpleasant. You're going to make people uncomfortable, even if you're just being a blind dude, and that's not your fault, you know? And it's different than just... But if you don't have any eyes whatsoever, you just have a big, gaping, empty crater in your head. And maybe, if you're some sort of villain in a movie, you can get away with 1 gaping crater in your head. But 2 gaping craters in your head? Come on, man. Be reasonable. You're just going to be looking like a freak and a lunatic, and people aren't going to want to even talk to you because they're going to be trying to maintain eye contact, but instead of eyes, they're going to be looking deep into the fleshy pits of your former orbital socket. It's going to be very, very, very ugly. Not a good look. So I'm going to have to go with testicles crushed on this one, also because, you know, what am I going to do the rest of my life if I can't see? I can't read, I can't play video games, I can't go outside and enjoy a nice day. Like, it's just going to suck asshole if I can't see. So, man, never thought I would be picking this option, but I guess as long as my penis is okay, then we can forge ahead. 66% said have your testicles crushed. I assume that that's a really high percentage because a lot of the people who are on this website, I assume, are female, and so they kind of got an out in this one. I guess maybe a good question to make it equivalent there would be like, would you rather have your ovaries torn out by a chainmail glove or have your eyes gouged out, just as like a point of comparison there. So 34% said they'd rather be blind, which is kind of understandable. This is one of those where I really can't make fun of them, but I'm going to anyway. I think you're ridiculous. You're going to have, you know, disgusting little fleshy pits in your face, and nobody's going to want to hang out with you. So unless you have 2 eye patches, in which case people are going to assume at one juncture you're going to murder them, because that's what pirates look like. So on to the next question. For 1 week, would you rather eat nothing but dog treats or eat nothing but cat food? All right. I would definitely. I can't really judge because I've seen some commercials for dog and cat food where if they had not told me that it was dog or cat food, I'd be like, yeah, that does look like a pretty, you know, choice bit of meat, a little morsel right there, good for a snack. I don't know why it's cut up so small, but whatever. I'm not really asking questions. But if it's one of those old kind of, you know, grungy, dry, chalky, little nasty dog treats that just are so dry it immediately sucks all the moisture out of your body. It's like eating cornbread or something like that. I would have to go with cat food because all the cat food I've seen, at least you get the benefit of the fact that it looks pretty juicy, you know? Have you ever seen the Fancy Feast commercials? Jesus Christ, look at how classy that cat is. If you could somehow take the most interesting man in the world and, you know, put him into a cat form, that would be the Fancy Feast cat. Maybe a little bit more feminine than he is in his human form, but all is forgiven. So I would have to go with cat food in that regard, unless it was some of those awesome dog treats that are like made to taste exactly like bacon and like bacon strips. Man, I have a lot more knowledge on these than I thought I did. So I would not have imagined this question would be so difficult. You know, I'm gonna have to say I'm going to go with dog treats, but on the stipulation that they are like bacon strips that are pretty much just tasting like bacon, and, you know, that's about it. Because I can deal with, you know, faux bacon for a week, 3 meals a day. But I don't know if, like, maybe after like 2 days of eating like super moist cat food, I'm just going to be having the worst diarrhea of my life and just wanting to die and vomiting at every juncture and just feeling like complete and utter horse poopy. And so I'm going to go with dog treats, and let's see. 80% said dog treats. Man, that's interesting. Maybe the 20% that said eat nothing but cat food are thinking about, what is it? Catnip, that stuff that you give cats and it just gets them high as a kite and they just feel weird and walk around all stumbly and their eyes get all strange and they just kind of relax for a while. Because I had no idea that catnip was meant to get cats high. Like, I didn't know until one of my cat-owning comrades explained it to me, and I thought that was pretty funny that you can just buy a little tin of food, give it to your cat, and obviously it's a freaking cat. The cat has no idea. The cat does not know it's about to get high. The cat doesn't know what's happening. It has no ability to comprehend the implications of eating that little tin of food, and just you have to imagine that cat like 15 minutes later after it eats it, it's like, holy shit, man, something is different right now. Ooh, something is different. Like, and they start feeling great and loving it, and so I would imagine that it would not have the same effect on humans. Probably more an effect more akin to vomiting or poison control needing to get involved. But you know, I'll try anything twice, so to speak. Next one. Would you rather fight a wolf with your bare hands or fight a large bear with a sword? All right, so this is pretty much a question of you can die this way or you can die this way, right? So essentially, if you fight a wolf with your bare hands, I'm going to give you a 100% chance of death because you're not going to win. It's going to jump up on you, like use all of its momentum to knock you back because it's a goddamn wolf, and then it's going to eat your throat out within like 2 seconds and rip it out, and you're going to have to see all of your lifeblood pouring forth and pulsating because your heart's last beats are spurting it out like a fire hose with your thumb on the end of it, and it's going to be a really ugly situation there. So I would not want to go with that because I guarantee I can't beat up. Let's put it this way. There are very few wild animals that I could beat up with my hands that aren't squirrels or rabbits. You know, that's about it. That's pretty honest. Like, even if there were like 2 foxes that tag teamed me, I don't know, man. Don't know if I could take that. If one of them like grabbed me on the leg and like pulled me down, the other one bit my ear or somewhere really sensitive and it hurt me, who knows? Might be fox food. That'd be unpleasant, but we got to be honest with ourselves about these things. I can't live my life as a liar thinking I'm more powerful in the wildlife world than I really am. You know, I can't live with that kind of hypocrisy bearing on my soul. So I'm going to have to go with fighting a large bear with a sword because at the very freaking least I get a sword. Like, I know I'm most likely going to die, but maybe, just maybe, as it's running towards me, I can like jam it up in its head and just stab it right through the mouth and just sever its spine and just destroy its brain, and then I would be that dude who fought a bear with a sword. Imagine how many shows I would be on. I would be on Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah. I could write a book about it. saying like my grizzly stroke with death. Bam, 2 puns right there. A stroke is in a sword and a grizzly is in the bear I killed. A grizzly stroke with death coming soon. So I'm going to go with the bear. 83% said bear, good for them, but that's all I've got to say about this for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you would be so kind as to please go and watch that video linked in the description, it would make me very happy, and I will smile indiscriminately at everyone I see today in celebration of Memorial Day. Amen, and I love you.